Okay, so now we're going to do outpainting, and that's about extending an image beyond its original borders. So there's half a car there. I've generated the full car. And here's a fish with a white background. I replaced the background and extended it with a coral reef. Okay, so in ComfyUI, let's just create a new basic image. Just be sure that it works. Okay, I'm just going to lay it out. Don't need this empty latent because we're doing something very similar to inpainting. Okay, so on my documentation, the outpainting page, if you scroll down, there's this half a car. You could use your own image if you want. If you've got one that's got half of something, just going to copy that. And then in a blank area, Control V to paste. Okay, load image. Now, image, drag that out, and we're searching for something called pad, that pad image for outpainting. Okay, so we're making the image larger in either the left, top, right, or bottom directions. So I want to go out left, so I'm going to add 256 to left. That will make the image total width 768. That's quite a safe number to use with this checkpoint. Actually, I'll change that now. So we use the inpainting checkpoint again, even though we're doing outpainting. The first step is to make the image much larger. Also, we don't use the mask either on this image. The mask is being created in this pad image for outpainting node. Okay, so image, VAE encode for inpaint. Okay, so latent into latent, VAE into VAE, and mask into mask. So next we should do the prompt. So a dusty road in the forest, because I want the trees as well. So that's the prompt. Okay, let's run this. Okay, let's expand that. I'm going to move that out of the way. We have that sharp line just there. That can be fixed by this grow mask. So let's just increase that. I'll go all the way to 64. It's the easiest thing to do. Okay, that's the line gone. Now I want some more out on the left here. So I'm going to expand this a bit more. So left 512, that's going to be 1024 in total. That's quite large. I think that it will work, but we might have to go through a few first until we get something good. Okay, sampler. It's a little bit slower to generate because it's a larger image. All right, so that's looking kind of okay. You can see that it's not a real car if you look closely at it, but cars generally look like that. Try another. That one looks a bit silly. Okay. Maybe 512 was too much. Try about 400. Okay, so it's just... All right, I think that's a better size. Although the images are quite mostly corrupted. I think I had a better ratio of success with 512. There we go, run. Okay, I definitely like the scenery better. I think that looks pretty good. Anyway, you get the idea. Let's try another one. Further down, I got this fish, half a fish. That was also generated in an earlier lesson. You can use your own image or use this, copy image. Select that, Control V to paste. Let's expand everything by 128, 128, 128, and 128. Okay, and see what we come up with. And I should also change the prompt. So I'm going to use coral reef. I could write fish and coral reef, but I'm just going to try that out. All right, I might have to add fish. And I think maybe I'm going to go a little more right. I shouldn't have gone so far left. I'll leave left 0 and right 256, like that, and try that. Okay, I think I need to add the word fish to the prompt. So coral reef and fish, run. Okay, that's a bit better. Let's try another one. Okay. I could also change the type of fish. So let's make it a puffer fish. Well, only the bit that's being imagined is going to change. Let's try that. So puffer fish. Let's try another one. Okay. Let's play around with this feathering. To imagine what feathering is doing, we can actually visualize the mask as well. So we'll just do that. So go out here and search for the word mask, because I can't remember what it's called, but there's a mask preview. There it is. It's just a preview image of the mask. So let's see what the mask looks like. Okay, so that blurriness around there is the feathering. The left was 0, top was 128, the right was 256. So you can sort of get the idea. If we increase the feathering, I might get a bit more puffer fish. So feathering up to, I'm just going to try about that. Okay, so that's the feathering mask now. Let's see what that looks like on the final image. Okay, let's get some more feathering. You can't really go too far. You go to about 255. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that's quite a good feathering there. Let's see what that comes up with. Okay, that's not a full puffer fish, but it's not really puffer fish either, but it's kind of an interesting fish. Let's try a different fish. Clownfish. Okay, so that's my prompt, clownfish. Okay, so run that. All right, we can just keep pressing that until we get something that we quite like. There we go. Okay, one more. Okay. If you really wanted a full clownfish, you could use inpainting to mask out the fish and replace it completely. But that leads me on to the next example, which is a bit more complicated. This last one here, we also have a white background, so we'll change that also into a coral reef and also extend this fish because it's had a little bit cut off on the mouth and the tail there. So copy that, copy image, go into there, right? Let's put everything to 128, and let's just turn feathering right down for now. So my grow mask is high. That removes that hard square edge look. Anyway, if I just run that, let's see what we have. Okay, we have a fish now with some extended bits. It's quite good. But if I was to generate several of those, you would see that most of the background remains white, like the original photo. We can't really edit the mask here. So if I was to try and use the mask editor on that and just to prove that I can't do anything, such as rub out a large section of the image like that, press save, and just run that again, it has no effect on the mask preview because the mask is actually coming from there now. And we can see that the output, the image hasn't been affected at all. So in this case, if I just press Ctrl Z to remove that, there's no point in making a mask there because we're not actually using it. Another thing you could try to add something to the background is to increase feathering like that. I'll just go up to 137. Okay. But that causes creativity to go inwards as well. So we do get a little more imagination around the edge of the fish. And just remind you of the prompt. I've got coral reef and clownfish there. Let's try another one. We can't really escape from this whitish area when it's imagining. And also because we're expanding the feathering down there, we're compromising the shape of the fish. So if I go back down to 0 again and just show you that the fish will be a better quality fish. Okay, so the fish is a better quality fish, but we still have this white background. So what we should do is do a bit of inpainting. So if you right click that, copy image, go over to load image, Control V to paste, so it's in there. We turn off outpainting, so you can bypass it using that there. Plug mask into VAE and code for inpainting. So now we're using the mask from here and now create a mask. So right click, open in mask editor, and there's this picker here, which will pick all the whites if I click the white like that. Okay, so just click around and get rid of a lot of it. I'm just going to actually use that big circle as well. A circle. Go back to that. I'll try that again, a little picker. Okay, that's not so bad. Doesn't work so well on this there, so back to there. All right, anyway, good enough. Now, what we're doing is regenerating this fish, which is now 768 by 768, but with a coral reef background. I'm just going to remove that clownfish from the prompt. Okay, let's try that out. Okay, so we're now just inpainting this 768 by 768 image. Okay, so there we go. That looks instantly better. So we used a bit of outpainting to make the canvas larger, and then we used inpainting to fill in the background. Okay, and it seems to be quite a bit of extra imagination on the fish there compared to the one that was passed in. So we could turn down the grow mask, say to about 10, see how that works. Run. Okay, that looks pretty good still and quite close to my original image, I think. We got quite a bulb there. Let's try another one. Okay, that's a bit better. Much closer to the original one that I was passing in. Okay, very good. Okay, excellent.